Robert K. Merton also discussed two important concepts of functionalism, and he looked at the cultural goals and institutionalized means. And he cultural goals are those goals which have been approved by the culture of the society, or the goals which are emphasized by the culture of the people, the goals to, let us say, become rich, the goal to be a successful person, goals to have a monetary kind of success in the society. And then he also looked at the goals which the means which the society provides to the achievement of those goals. And these means are there. These are institutionalized means. These could be considered as legitimized means. Whether or not these means are available to everybody or not, I think the gap between the two results in some kind of dysfunctionality. Again, Merton's difference with Parsons. So he used anomy as a major, let's say, independent variable which might be affecting the balance between, let's say, cultural goals and the institutionalized means. So Merton used it as a discontinuity, means the gap, some kind of gap between the means and the goals. So cultural means are there, cultural goals are there, but the two might not coincide with each other. So if there are cultural goals and the people would like to achieve those goals, reach those goals, does the society provide means to reach those goals? Well, society does provide means. Those means are there, but these means may not be available to everybody. So those means, if are not available to the individuals who might be, let's say, subscribing to the achievement of the cultural goals, then there comes some kind of anomic kind of situation, some kind of problematic kind of situation. And Merton used it as a discontinuity. Anomy is usually considered as normlessness. It is a concept given by Durkheim. Normlessness, maybe powerlessness. People don't have control on their own environment. So Merton used it as a discontinuity, the gap between the means and the goals and the available legitimate means to reach them. So this gap actually becomes problematic, and that is dysfunctional in the society. And therefore, Merton gave the theory of deviance. So we see that in United States, monetary success has been one of the goals which are, let's say, one of the goals which is advocated in that society. People must move forward, they must progress, they must have upward mobility, earn living, be rich, have monetary kind of success. That's there. So are there means available, the institutionalized means, the legitimate means available to everybody? So we see that there might be a gap between the means which have been professed in the culture of the society, and people subscribe to them, people accept them. Do they have these means to reach those goals? So the resultant anomy is a dysfunction for American society, as well as for the groups who lack those means to achieve those goals. So that actually creates a source of tension, a strain. So when there is no balance between the goals and the means, then people might deviate from the norms of the society, the existing norms of the society. Therefore, as part of the deviation, they might adopt different patterns of adaptation, to different mode of adaptation, and thereby Merton gave number of modes of adaptation as a result of this dysfunction, or as a result of this imbalance between the let's say professed goals and the institutionalized means. So he gave let's say 5 modes of adaptation. The first mode of adaptation, according to him, was conformity. And this conformity is for those people who accept the cultural goals, and they also have the legitimized means or institutionalized means. So there is no problem for them. They probably don't have to deviate. So they conform to the norms of the society, norms of getting riches, norms of following the same institutionalized means to reach those goals. Then he talks about innovation. And innovation is that mode of adaptation where we see that the cultural goals have been accepted. So they want to progress, they want to have upward mobility, they want to be rich, they want to be a success story, but they do not have the means. They do not, let's say, get the opportunity to reach those, let's say, goals. So there is a gap between the two. Now, in that case, he says they are innovative. They might develop, they might think of different means to reach those goals. The goals are there, they accept them. So in order to reach those goals, they might innovate, develop different means to reach those goals, and these different means might be innovative. I'm not saying whether these innovative goals means would be acceptable or not, but these are different than the let's say traditional means to reach those goals. Thirdly, is that kind of situation where there are people who may not accept the goals of society. The goals of society is to be rich, to be successful, to progress, to move upward, social mobility upward. So they don't accept those goals, but they do have the means. Now they are more of a ritualistic kind of people. In his opinion, Merton's opinion, their mode of adaptation to this kind of imbalance is ritualism, that they follow the traditional kind of things. They don't go, let's say, for the acceptance of the goals of the society. The fourth one is that situation where we find some people who neither accept the cultural means of becoming rich or moving upward, whatever the cultural goals are, and they nor can have an access to, let's say, the opportunities. So they neither accept the goals nor accept the institutionalized means. So they are the people who might be considered as retreatist kind of people. So they feel that they are defeated, so they adapt themselves to that kind of situation. And lastly, he says that there are some people who might partly accept the goals and partly reject the goals. So they partly accept the goals, partly reject it. Similarly, they partly accept the means to reach those goals and partly reject those means to reach those goals. So they are the people who rebel against the cultural norms of the society, which is trying to advocate certain kind of goals and trying to provide certain kind of means. They partly accept and they partly don't accept any one of the two. So they might be the people who follow the mode of adaptation as rebellious kind of people. So they rebel. So they might have new means, new goals, partly new goals, and also partly new means. So this is how he looks at the modes of adaptation as a means of adjusting to the imbalance between the culturally advocated goals and culturally provided means.